We're going to get started. Sorry, I turned around and didn't realize it was after 7:30, so. Yeah. All right, if everybody could take your seats, we're about to begin our meeting. But before we start, a couple of public service announcements. For an emergency, please note the exits on either side of the chambers and proceed down the stairs. Bathrooms are located at the door to my left, women's is to the right, men's room is to the left. We allow 30 minutes for public speaking. If you have not done so already, please sign up at the podium or through the Zoom chat by raising your Zoom hand. I'm now calling this Common Council meeting to order at 7:36 p.m. on May 2nd, 2023. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated. May I please have roll call?
Alderman Hill,
Excused.
Alderman Frankel,
Present.
Alderman Scott Childress,
Here.
Alderman Worthington,
Here.
Alderman Mohammed,
Here.
Alderman Davis,
Excused.
Alderman Oliveri,
Here.
Alderman Shabbat,
Here.
Alderman Hirsch.
Here. Thank you. We have a quorum. Can I have a motion to dispense with the minutes of the previous meeting and
Motion.
approve same?
Second.
Motion by Steve Shabbat, second by Michael Oliveri. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is adopted 7-0. Can I have a motion to dispense with the reading of the general bills? Motion by Rita Worthington, second by Michael Oliveri. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is adopted 7-0. We're now entering into the public speaking portion of the meeting. We have allotted 30 minutes for this purpose. Speakers will have 3 minutes. If there are remaining speakers after 30 minutes, I will call for a motion from the council to extend the period for another 30 minutes. Speakers, please direct your comments to the chair, as council members cannot engage in debate during this time. State your name and address on the record before you begin. For audience in chambers and on Zoom, there can be no distractions when a speaker is addressing the council. The Common Council has also received written comments for our consideration, and they could be found on the city's website under tonight's agenda. Can I have the first speaker, please?
Diana Lopez.
Oh, thank you. Good evening. My name is Diana Lopez. My address 38 Stefan Street. And I am a community organizer with For the Many, also a resident of Kingston for over 25 years, or maybe even more. But yeah, tonight I'm here to voice my support for a resolution that will be talked about for the good cause eviction for state level. I know Kingston tried to do the best to protect tenants from being evicted, and unfortunately, the state has, more power to make sure that all the state tenants are covered. So yeah, I wanted to support that. And the same reason in supporting tenants, I'm also here to, make sure that there's restrictions on short-term rentals. Right now, our community, again, has been struggling. And I just want to read this, text message from someone I received over the weekend. And this is from a person who's part of the Kingston Mutual Aid that has been helping a lot of other folks. And it says, I have a 3-year-old here and I have 30 days to find a place. I've been trying to find a place and I've had so many issues. One, raised the price when he knew we were interested. Then not only asked for a security, which I know is legal, but then asked for a $1,000 fee, but wouldn't clarify what it was for. Then I've had a handful say that your credit score, they want 680. I never dreamed my life would come to this when I've paid. It's so unfair. I don't know what to do. I have nowhere to go. And if I have an eviction, how can I get an apartment? I'm sorry to bother you, just so upset. Good cause eviction would have helped me, and now it's gone. Everything is falling apart. And this is just one of many text messages, phone calls that we get from folks that are really having like a very hard time finding housing. So please, help us, make more housing available by putting restriction on, non-homeowner occupied. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. There's speakers on Zoom. Next speaker, please.
Matt Colangelo.
Hi, good evening. It's Colangelo. Can you hear me?
Yes, hi, Matt. You could start whenever you're ready.
Sure. I just wanted to say I'm on Zoom and the camera's pointed at the wall. It looks nice, but I think it'd be better if I could see the
If you
people
want
I'm
to give
speaking
me
to.
1 second, then we could change it. Is that better?
I could see one person.
All right. It's taking a lot of clicks to get there, so.
Okay. All right. Thanks anyway. I really just wanted to call to speak to the resolution that you're going to vote on for the pilot for Golden Hill. I do support the project. I do live in the neighborhood, been very vocal about it. The pilot is really an extension of what we've been told is an investment of public land. And unfortunately, there's a lot of information that you're not being told in order to know whether or not it's a good investment. If we're going to be making an investment, we should be able to know the costs. There's a lot of information that's not included in the pilot that you really need to know in order to know if it's a good investment. For example, we don't know how much the cost is going to be to improve the water infrastructure. There's no mention of that. There's no mention of the cost of the property that Penrose is going to pay. There's no mention of why the school board and the school district wasn't involved in order to determine whether or not the costs associated or the impact to them was approved. There's no mention of whether or not the policy regarding the tenancy is even legal. There's no mention of where I think there's mention that the local construction or the local workers will only be 20% from the region. Where are the other 80% coming from? Mars? Why isn't that being explained? Why is it that you would vote on a pilot that's going to afford millions in property tax breaks without knowing this information until after you approve it? You should really know that information before you do it. I would implore you to send it back to committee and get the answers so that you can make a well-informed decision when you vote on giving away millions of dollars in property taxes that the rest of us will have to make up. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
It's either Ellen or Joe DeFalco. I'm not sure which one.
Hello.
Hi, Alan. We could hear you.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity to address the council this evening pertaining to Resolution 94, the pilot agreement by Penrose for the construction of the Golden Hill Affordable Housing Project. For full disclosure and transparency, references in Resolution 94 to the Option B, proposed pilot terms, the March 1st letter addressed from Penrose to the mayor, which was supposed to have been attached to the committee report, the Kingston Municipal Preference Policy published in April of this year. It says annexed here too, should be provided in its entirety online for public viewing. Additionally, in Section 2, under subsection 4 of the resolution, the reference to all site plan approval requirements, including the emergency gate on Glen Street and traffic control improvements on the boulevard, Route 32, should be the same language as stated in the resolution of the City of Kingston Planning Board, which approved this site plan for Golden Hill housing. Of particular importance, the emergency gate at the head of Glen Street shall be in place and operational on or before 1 year from the date of planning's resolution, which was filed September 20th, 2022, or before the issuance of a building permit, whichever comes first, unless extended by mutual consent. And the traffic signal at the intersection of Boulevard, which is Route 32 and Golden Hill Drive, and associated signage, pavement markings shall be designed, approved, purchased, and installed at the expense of the applicant and County of Ulster, and be in place and operational on or before any issuance of certificate of occupancy, temporary or permanent. It's important that Resolution 94 be clear in identifying responsibility of proposed terms related to the numerous supporting documentation the Planning Board reviewed throughout the site plan process for the construction of this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen. Next speaker. If there are no other speakers, is there any other speakers on Zoom? Are there any other speakers on Zoom who would like to speak? Okay, hearing no more speakers, I will close
Hello?
the public. Oh,
Hello, Andrea?
yeah, is this Scott?
Hello, Andrea. No, this is Joe DeFalco.
Oh, hi, Joe.
I was on the telephone and you put me on, you were calling me on Zoom. Okay, thank you, Andrea, for this opportunity. I thought you were going to call Ellen or Joe DeFalco, and I was waiting for you to acknowledge that I was on the phone. Okay, and I never got that acknowledgement.
If you would like to speak, Joe, it's all yours.
Oh, thank you. Listen, I'd like to address the resolution of the project up on Golden Hill. The facts and the presentation at the Finance Committee was the first time some truth came out. But the presentation that they delivered is not the same as they delivered to the Chamber of Commerce or the public. And, you know, the principal owner of the property or the project has not been revealed yet because they still say it's Penrose. It's not. And these people have been brought up on ethical charges, which were never executed so where they could be prosecuted. And this has been going on for 2 years, and then they make a bogus decision on it. And I made a complaint with Tom Sinopoli about the procedure and the ethics at the county level. Now, they have no ethics at the county level because they issue a decision and they refuse to sign it. When I confronted them with it and I asked them to make it official and sign it, they refuse to sign their own decision. Okay, this has been going on. It's going to continue to go on until the truth of this project comes out. Why they're going to import people from all over the state. They keep saying Ulster County has a housing problem, yet they're going to import people from all over the state to fill this project. And they don't tell you the impact on the school board of the students that they're going to put into the system. They allege they're going to put 49 students into the system. That can change. But as Shaughnessy said, 49 students breaks their tax cap. And maybe that's the reason why he resigned or is not running anymore. Because this project from the beginning was misrepresented to the public, and things kept in the dark and behind closed doors. There's no transparency with this project. Okay? So this argument will continue, and I thank you, Andrea, for the opportunity to voice my opinion, and I would recommend that not only you send this back to committee, but just get some more information, get the school board involved. I went to a school board meeting, I asked them to get involved.
30 seconds.
Okay, I'm done. Thank you, Andrea.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Okay, thank you, dear.
Any other speakers? Okay, we'll now close the public speaking portion of the meeting. We're now entering into claims and communications. Hearing no discussion, they will be on file in the clerk's office. Can I get a motion to dispense with the second reading of the general bills and pay same? Motion by Carl Frankel, second by Rennie Scott Childress. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is adopted 7-0. We're now entering into the report of committees, starting with resolution number 85.
Resolution 85 of 2023. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, authorizing the adoption of a bond ordinance for the sum of $3,030,000 for the municipal buildings energy efficiency upgrades, City of Kingston.
On the question? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted 7-0. Moving to resolution 86, a bond ordinance. So I'll ask for a roll call, please.
Bond ordinance, Resolution 86 of 2023, bond ordinance dated May 2nd, 2023. An ordinance authorizing the financing for energy efficiency upgrades at municipal buildings in and for the City of Kingston, Ulster County, New York, at a maximum estimated cost of $3,030,000 and authorizing the issuance of up to $3,030,000 bonds of said city to pay costs thereof. Alderman Oliveri? Alderman Shabbat? Alderman Hirsch?
Yes.
Alderman Hill?
Excused.
Alderman Frankel?
Yes.
Alderman Scott Childress?
Yes.
Alderman Worthington? Yes. Alderman Mohammed? Alderman Davis?
Excused. Bond ordinance passes 7-0. Moving to resolution 87, please.
Resolution 87 of 2023. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, directing the City of Kingston Planning Department to cause a deed description of the paper street known as Pearl Street Lane.
On the question? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is passed 7-0. Moving to resolution 88, please.
Resolution 88 of 2023. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, adopting a memorializing resolution calling upon the New York State Legislature to pass and Governor Kathy Hochul to sign a 4454-S.305 in relation to prohibiting eviction without good cause.
On the question, Alderman Rennie Scott Childress.
I rise in support of this resolution. I'm absolutely chagrined that we've had to look at repealing the particular law, good cause eviction law that we passed, one of the first municipalities in upstate to do that. We're very proud here in Kingston of what we have done for housing. We know that there's much more to do, but we keep trying and experimenting and looking for new ways to do things. So we're going to use this to strongly encourage our legislators at the state level to pass this tenant protection as well as other tenant protections, and also to look again at spending, putting $800 million into the state budget for the building of low-income affordable housing that Governor Hochul talked about, but for some reason got removed from the budget. So I'm strongly in favor of this tonight.
Thank you. Anybody else? Alderwoman Michelle Hirsch.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to also say that I'm very proud of this council for having passed good cause eviction in an effort to provide 54% of Kingston residents with tenant protections during the worst affordability crisis in decades. But as we know, we have to move forward and repeal our law because the courts have ruled that we do not have a say. I'm calling on the Assembly and the Senate to please pass this, especially we need our own Senator Michelle Hinchey to sign on in support of good cause in the state Senate. Assemblywoman Sarah Hannah Strathra is a sponsor and a strong supporter of the Assembly bill. The Kingston community cannot afford to lose more of our residents to displacement due to unconscionable rent hikes. We need good cause to pass and be on Governor Hochul's desk before the legislative session ends in just a few weeks. I will be voting yes in support of this memorializing resolution for good cause eviction on behalf of our Kingston tenants. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Alderwoman Rita Worthington.
Thank you, Madam President. I too want to stand and say that I am supportive of this resolution. And although we have to repeal the local law, I am sure that this council will work toward more efforts to protect tenants. We're very proud of what we have done so far to kind of put a needle in the housing crisis that we find ourselves in. And there's so much more work to do, but I believe that we are committed to do so. And so I too call on our state senator as well as our governor to get on board with good cause eviction and pass this so we can further protect our tenants. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing no one else, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution passes 7-0. Moving to Resolution 89, please.
Resolution 89 of 2023. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, amending the fee schedule to include $25 fee to obtain a one-day marriage officiant license.
On the question? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted 7-0. Moving to Resolution number 90, please.
Resolution 90 of 2023. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, adopting the standard workdays for elected and appointed officials in the New York State retirement system.
On the question? Alderman Michael Oliveri. Because of work. Alderwoman Michelle Hirsch.
Thank you, Madam President. I will also be recusing myself as this resolution pertains to my work.
Okay, 2 recusals. Anybody else on the question? Hearing no one else, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted 5-0. Moving to Resolution number 91, please.
Resolution 91 of 2023. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, authorizing to spend in the first instance in the amount of $246,425 for CDBG-funded projects administered by the city.
On the question? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted 7-0. Moving to Resolution 92, please.
Resolution 92 of 2023. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, authorizing the settlement in the matter of Walgreen Eastern Company Incorporated, Wall Trust Property Incorporated, 3ECO, 316 Broadway, SBL number 56.26-11-43.100.
On the question? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted 7-0. Moving to Resolution number 93, please.
Resolution 93 of 2023. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, approving the short environmental assessment form and adopting a negative declaration of environmental significance.
On the question? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is adopted 7-0. Moving to Resolution number 94, please.
Resolution 94 of 2023. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, authorizing the mayor to sign all documents necessary related to the presented pilot agreement by Penrose for the construction of the Golden Hill Affordable Housing Project.
On the question? Alderman Rennie Scott Childress.
Thank you, Madam President. First, I'd like to thank Dan Baker in particular for his diligence in pursuing innovative ways to work with different levels of government, different development entities, to create important ways for us to finance and help finance affordable housing for the residents of Kingston and surrounding Ulster County. He's done an amazing amount of work here to try to figure out some difficult problems, and he's been of a great help to us as we've tried to understand and work through the various issues relating to this kind of a project. This project is really important for the city of Kingston. It's going to add over 160 units of affordable and workforce housing. It's an innovative project. It's one of the first times we've worked with a private developer at this level, and yet for the city, the benefits will be very much the same, very close to what we get from the non-profit entities like RUPCO that we've worked with for similar kinds of projects. This is going to provide a lot of different kinds of housing, and it's really important because we have people who are houseless right now. We have people who are trying, as Diana pointed out, trying to find low-income affordable housing. And we have lots of kids who are in our city schools right now who are houseless, who are housing challenged. And this is exactly the kind of project we need to house those children. So there's also going to be a lot of housing provided for some of our older folks with care facilities built into the project. So most of the project is actually owned by family. So I think this is a great combination of private entity, public service, and government to create a really needed development of housing for the city of Kingston and its residents. Thank you.
Did you also want to make a motion tonight? Did you want to make a motion?
Well, I'm at it.
Just wondering.
I'd like to move that we chastise the Ward 3 alderman for forgetting he was supposed to make a motion. All right. I would like to move to suspend the rules to consider an amendment to the resolution of 94.
There's a motion to suspend the rules. Is there a second? Michael Oliveri, all in favor to suspend the rules?
Aye.
Opposed? Rules are hereby suspended. So Alderman Rennie Scott Childress, can you explain the motion?
Yes, I'd like to propose that in the section that discusses the 20% requirement for local workers, that we remove the names of the specific counties and say instead that they have to come from the contiguous counties to Ulster County.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Second by Michael Oliveri. On the question? Hearing no discussion, I will call for the vote. This is just for the change. I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? This change has been adopted. We are now back in session in order. It doesn't change the name. All right, so anybody else on the question of the pilot agreement? Alderman Steve Shabbat.
Thank you, Madam President. For almost, it seems like as long as I can remember on this council, we have been discussing the need for all housing really, but you know, our main thrust has been affordable housing, no doubt about it. For years, RUPCO has been really the only game in town. Now we have an opportunity to put our money where our mouth is, so to speak. You have a couple instances where we have private developers coming in. This is one of them. What I really like here, yes, it's a pilot program, but we're going to be receiving a substantial amount of money in taxes on a piece of property that has not seen taxes paid in probably 50 years at least. You know, I'm not going to say in my lifetime because that's a lie, but still a lengthy time. You know, this is a huge project for the city, as Rennie said. It's going to bring people in. It's going to be a tremendous boost to the local economy. People are going to be coming, spending money. There's going to be daycare facilities there. You know, we've looked at this project numerous times. We've looked at the plans, and you know, I really can't say I see a lot of bad things there. I mean, it really looks like it's going to be a first-rate facility. You know, I'm excited to see it come in here on a piece of property that's, you know, really is not used. You know, we're going to put it to good use. I will be voting for it. You know, I think it's going to be great for the community, great for people who live here already. And again, you know, we certainly appreciate everything RUPCO has done for us over the years, but, you know, they can't be the only game in town. You know, we have to have some others step up, and now we have others finally stepping up. And to me, that's a good thing. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else on the question? Alderwoman Michelle Hirsch.
Thank you, Madam President. I recognize that Golden Hill has many community benefits and we need affordable housing and supportive housing, but I believe that we have to find a different way to fund affordable housing and move away from speculative financing in building housing. In the near future, we're going to be getting a lot more pilots for housing, and we need a model of financing that keeps for-profit revenues from leaving the community and are instead reinvested back into the housing itself, and keeps long-term affordability in place, not just for 30 or 40 years. And no matter if your income level has changed, people need stability, and there are models out there that can provide this. These pilots are being financed on the backs of local taxpayers and schools, and profits are leaving the community. So I'm going to be a no vote. Thank you.
Anyone else on the question? Hearing no more discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is adopted 6-1. The dissent is Michelle Hirsch. Moving to the first reading of local law number 5.
Local Law 5 of 2023 of the City of Kingston, New York, repealing Local Law 1 of 2022.
That concludes our communication. Does anybody have anything that they would like to close in memory of? All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Bernie Scott Childress, second by Rita Worthington. All in favor?
Aye.
We hereby stand adjourned until the next regularly scheduled meeting on June 6, 2023 at 7:30 p.m. Thank you, everybody, for being here.